Well, heyo everyone and welcome. I'm your friend Art of Mana, and let's wade through some Stranger Things for the first time. Yes, this is actually a video game based off of Netflix's series Stranger Things, which, by way of a preface, is not for everyone. There are some adult themes, some violence, some language. However, this video game appears to be devoid of that. I would say this is fairly family friendly. Maybe parents' guidance would be warranted here, but I will definitely omit anything that I think is not appropriate for everyone. However, I did want to find a game that would be fun for Halloween this season, and this appears to be one that is really good, and it is entirely free, so you can go and download it right now. Here's Hopper. It's late. This better be good. Emergency, Chief. 4 children have gone missing. It's that Byers boy and his friends. Okay, Flo. I'll look into it. So, you can already tell, an over-the-top RPG style. I'll clean it up tomorrow. Nothing's on, it's too late. This is very reminiscent of games like A Link to the Past, right? Everything is done via tap. We got a tip that some kid was spotted poking around. That's yep, Lost Boys. That's what we're gonna do. Let's try this again, shall we? Take this key card. You'll need it to get inside. Alright, so, you pick up key card. Here we go. And let's see what we find. So, this is very puzzle-based. Again, this game is entirely free, and I've been very impressed. These buddy cop shows are so inaccurate. It's locked. I need a key card to open it. Alright, so we've got a little bit of puzzle solving. Let's open the chest. There we go. Fantastic. We got a thing, everyone. So, I think, how brilliant. Oh, tap to punch, tap to punch. There we go. How brilliant is this? Entirely free, no ads, no in-app purchases. Obviously, this is promoting a show that's out there. If you don't know about the show, let me just tell you a little bit about it. It is a sort of science fiction horror style show. I actually really don't enjoy scary things. That's just me. I'm gonna speed up a little bit of this. I don't enjoy scary things that much. Oh, the new security lasers have been installed. Make sure to switch them off when navigating the lab. But this, Ms. Mana told me I should probably check this out. It's set in the 1980s. It has kind of a cool vibe to it. The new guards we hired are tough, but they're just as dumb. They walk right into the security gate. Oh boy. Tell them to spend less time flexing their muscles and more time. Oh gosh. Alright. But it's very influenced by the pop culture of the era. There's a set of cast members, these kids that play Dungeons and Dragons, and slightly active imaginations, shall we say. However, of course, there is a lot that's going on in this fair city, and so you're going to see through this playthrough some allusions to the story. This doesn't follow the story directly, and I think what they were trying to do... Look, here's the first boy that we find. What are you doing here, kid? We gotta stop the scientist running this place. He's evil. He's coming to help. Lucas has joined the party. Tap Hopper's face on your menu to switch between he and Lucas. So you've got different characters, which is pretty cool. It doesn't follow the series. I think what Netflix is trying to do is say, hey, here's a game that you can play, have fun, maybe it'll get you into the series. Or, in my case, I found out that it existed after having watched through it. Ms. Mana informed me that I should check it out, and I was sick, and I watched it, and I'll tell you, it's pretty good if you like things like X-Files and things like that. Again, not appropriate for everyone, but it was a pretty well put together show, I feel. And they are coming out with a second season later this month. So those of you who maybe have watched it, you might check it out. But those of you who have no intent of watching it, or for whom it would not be appropriate to watch, let me just say this game, I've played now about 2 hours of it. It's actually really quite well put together, and I'd say it stands on its own. What an interesting thing that we have come to an era where these sorts of games that are really licensed games are actually quite good. In fact, you know, back in the day, a license was a quick cash-in, right? Think about it. Most of the movie tie-ins were there just simply to, you know, to make a buck, you know, because people recognized the brand. So you didn't have to start from scratch to have something that would be interesting. Oh, I'm in a little trouble here. Let's see if I make it through. Yes, I do. So you have a simple mechanic. You tap on enemies, right, to do to engage in battle. Hopper has a punch. Lucas has a slingshot. But you see that some of the enemies can't actually be harmed. They're puzzle elements like this little laser grid that is quite difficult. But here, actually, I get into a little bit of trouble here because, so, again, you can't do any damage to these big, tough goons. And what am I supposed to do? How do I get out of this? I've got one more hit, and that's it. Ouch. But as you can see, actually, the way that I played here, I put it on the easier mode, and this is actually just one room before. So you just basically get knocked back a room. Not too bad. And the puzzles are hard enough that, you know, it's worth it. It's not like an easy game. You know, you kind of figure out what you did wrong, and you go back and you approach it differently. So here I am, knowing the lasers do the damage. Let's see if we can't, you know, do something to get this goon to walk right into the laser. I missed my opportunity. I'll do it again. But anyway, getting back to that idea of licensed games, boy oh boy, you know, it was just a way to cash in, but now we're seeing quality games like this, which I'm sure the developers are probably really excellent game developers, I'm guessing, who Netflix contacted to put this out. You know, just a little indie title, but just as good as something that you would have played back in the day. And again, I've only played about 2 hours of it, and I feel like I've got a long ways to go. If you like things that are kind of Zelda-inspired with puzzles, or what are some other games? I kind of think of the Goof Troop game for Super Nintendo. This reminds me a bit of that as well. Anyway, it's just a really well put together game. Obviously, I'm picking up a bunch of collectibles, rocks, which are my ammunition for my slingshot, the coins there, the money, I don't yet know. I've gotten to a shop, but I haven't bought anything yet, so I don't know exactly what the coins are going to be used for. But you know, you click on a TV, you know, these buddy cop shows are so, you know, it's great. It's really great. Nice little things that they throw in there. Of course, here I'm mostly look at that, you know, figuring out the lasers, figuring out how to do things in here. Obviously, there's a button over there. The only way to get to it would be to use my slingshot. So lots of really nice little things there. I've cleared a path to the first boss. Now this took me a little while. Again, I was figuring out the controls. You know, I died there. But, you know, it really was fun. I didn't feel like this was a boring experience at any point. And here we go, first boss. The mad scientist, isn't this great? So, or evil scientist as it were. So you've got these dungeons essentially with bosses, and again, very Zelda-like. I'm sure, you know, look, it's probably not fair to keep making that comparison because it does stand on its own. It's different, but there are a lot of similarities. So here, what I figured out is I have to actually open these doors with the slingshot, and then I can turn off the laser. And now, see, I have to go in with Hopper and do some fisticuffs with the evil scientist. But then the evil scientist pushes me back, and we kind of go to round 2. So, you know, pretty simple boss. That being said, you've got to figure out here how to dodge things, and I still didn't do that because all of the movement is based on taps. So if you see a little grid appear, that's where I've tapped for my character to move. So very much like a PC game of yesteryear, where you actually tap somewhere on the screen and then your character goes to that position. It's just that in this case, it's with a touchscreen. I don't know, I guess I haven't mentioned this is actually being played on my iPad. This is a universal app, so you can play it on your iPhone or your iPad, but I think the 4:3 aspect ratio works better on the iPad. If you have played games of this era, obviously it's 4:3 aspect ratio. This game stays with that 4:3 aspect ratio on the iPhone, but because it's a 16 by 9, all of the menu, all of those icons on the top are on the side of the screen. Which I think this looks better. This looks more like what it would be if you were playing the game on, say, an NES or SNES, right? And it's sort of in between in terms of the graphics. I guess, you know, it's hard to say. It's definitely not within any restrictions for any one platform, but I would consider this probably evocative of the in-between 8 and 16-bit eras. So, here we go. Let's see if I do a little bit better. I've got full health. Let's punch the evil scientist, and wow! We've done it. We've done it. And we get an Eggo. So really, this game, look at this. I mean, we've gotten through the first dungeon, so to speak. We found an Eggo. Okay, kid, where are your friends? I don't know, I got separated after those guards showed up. Maybe Mike's sister knows. I bet she's hanging out with that beautiful human being, Steve! Steve! Beautiful, beautiful human! That's northwest of here. Let's get out of this lab. And then we can collect VHS tapes to watch a trailer for the next season. So really, this is just, in a sense, one big ad, right? But it's actually a really quality game. And I love that there is no advertising just baked in. I love that there are no in-app purchases. And the fact that this is 100% entirely free is pretty phenomenal. And so if we've entered an era where licensed games are more ads for the license themselves, and you get quality content to play for free, I mean, that's incredible. I would say that this app is very worthy of a price tag, in fact. But, you know, I've tried to showcase some games lately, like Croco Bongo and others, that are entirely free. Now, obviously, that's sort of a demo, but, you know, just because you don't have a lot of money to spend on gaming doesn't mean that you can't have some really terrific gaming experiences. It doesn't mean you have to be bombarded with advertisements. It doesn't mean you have to get sort of cheapened gaming experiences. It doesn't mean you have to turn to pirating or anything like that. In fact, there's so many options right now. It really is a great time to be a gamer, if you ask me. So here we go. We've looked at the map. We figured out where we need to go, and now we've gotten over to Steve. Chief, you gotta help us. It's Nancy. She just disappeared in the woods. Calm down. What direction was she headed? Nancy ran into the woods down the dirt path. Please find her. All right, so there we go. Now we see Nancy on the map. Pretty obvious there. I like the pixel art. Very cool. All right, so we can't break down this log. We'll have to go to this scary, creepy little thing. Whoa, is this the gate to the upside down? Yeah, I bet this is where Nancy went. Well, what are we waiting for? We need to go rescue her. That place is toxic. We can't go in there without a hazmat suit. The Morgan town has some suits we can use. So, you know, this is, again, very X-Files-like, right? We've got sort of this creepy, scary thing. We gotta go find a hazmat suit at the morgue. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't that be the thing we have to do? So, by now, look, we've gotten through quite a bit. Obviously, I've sped up quite a lot of me looking and trying to figure out where to go. Let's beat up some rats and get a hazmat suit, shall we? And there we go. This should protect me in the upside down. Cool, is there one for me too? Sorry, adults only. Let's get back to the gate and find Nancy. So now we're going to go into something called the upside down. I won't go into this too much. You know, this is creepy, as Lucas says, and Hopper has apparently done it before, but this is something in the show you'll find out. And so anyway, that is where we will leave off. That's what we're going to do in this very next episode, is go into the upside down. I hope you liked this this episode. I hope you liked this video. It was something a little bit different. I typically don't do a lot of things around sort of holidays or big events, but Halloween tends to be a very popular one, and I thought, hey, this is a game that would be fun to try playing. It definitely has that sort of a theme. Why not actually record it? And so we'll see. Let me know what you think. Hope to see you next time, and as always, do good and be well. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.